So one thing is like, based on some of these scenarios, and is it something that you should consider having? Should you have both? And is it even worth your time to have an inch bag? Should you even consider an inch bag?
That's the hard part, man.
I know it is big time. And like Kobe was saying, any scenario could turn into more, so it's hard to like pinpoint. I think some of the considerations, like where you live, is it an area that is way more vulnerable to being wiped out or overrun or something like that. So you have to think about that too. Additional troubles that you have to look at. If you're carrying a lot more than in your bob, are you going to like be traveling through mountains, and how far are you going to hike? Are you going to be able to handle that? Maybe your physical fitness or your health conditions aren't going to allow that.
No.
So you do need to just deal with the bob and figure out a plan of how to like manage that. Also, the space factor, like an inch bag's massive.
Yeah.
A bug out bag's huge, you know? And so, like for me, realistically, like I love my pickup, but if I were to travel very far with my family, if I wasn't going to go with, plan C or B up to a location, I'm probably going to take a fuel efficient, comfortable vehicle like freaking Pilot.
And
there's hardly any, there's going to be hardly any space in there. And so that's another thing you got to consider is if you want this big, huge inch bag that you're going to live out of, can you take more than one? Maybe you're going to leave a kid and put your bug out bag in the seatbelt.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. So, and I think it just has to go into, a lot of it has to go into your situation. And I also mentioned, like, if you live in a suburban area or urban, that's more likely a place that you're probably going to want something like an inch bag, I would think. Because I like getting away from cities and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But not always.
Not necessarily, not always. Sometimes an inch bag won't be super helpful because maybe you can't get away.
And it may be super inconvenient leaving a city with this massive bag on your back.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
so anyways, you have to kind of really evaluate your situation, what your plan is, and also consider your skill set. Like, what are you able to do, outside of just what's in your bug out bag? Can you live very long? I mean, it's just like going camping is, 3 days in, you're like, good freak, I got to get back.
Yeah.
Even when you thought you brought everything, even when you have a camper,
it's
full
tough.
of stuff, you're still like, this sucks.
Yeah, it's not very fun. You also have to think about, do you have the financial means to make this bag? Because this bag has got a lot of stuff in it.
It does.
You know what I mean? And
do you have the time to test the gear and know how it works? Because the last thing you want is garbage gear in this bag.
This bag is, and we'll talk about that because it becomes even more important.
Yeah.
Because it's an indefinite amount of time.
Super efficient with the weight you're packing. Cause anyway, so.
Because it's going to get expensive.
Yeah, for sure. So a lot goes into this. And so financial, your location, your health, what skill set you have, all of that has to be considered and whether or not you even want to deal with an inch bag. I think everybody should have a bug out bag, but the inch bag becomes a little more specific and a little more hardcore.
Well, and also, I think we'll probably talk about this later too, but it also depends on your group and your family. Like, I think about this, like, how could I even do this with my entire family?
Right.
Could I go and live somewhere? Like, I'm never coming home. I don't even know, man. I don't know. Maybe.
If you had no other choice, but by choice, no, it'd be miserable.
Yeah, it'd be super